In this video, I will be discussing image acquisition for the Pearl and Pearl Impulse imaging systems. Now, when you open up Image Studio, it will try to establish a connection with your instrument. And it does take a few minutes for it to go through the dark channel imaging and camera preparation. So as soon as that process has been completed, the Acquire button up here will become active. But in the meantime, while that's taking place, I'm going to discuss some of the options that you can set up. Under the image table info right here, you can enter in information about the imaging that you're going to do. So if you would like to add information about the mouse strain, the treatment, time points, users, mouse orientation, all of that can be entered in right here. And you can either have it apply to just a single image, to the first one that you do, or you can have it apply to all of the images that you're going to add. So if you want to add a time point right here, or if they all have the same treatment and you're going to be doing several mice, you can enter that here, and then it will apply to all of the images, and so you won't have to enter in that information later on. But if you're just going to be doing or if you're going to be changing it for each one of the images that you do, you can uncheck that and then just enter that as you go along. Now, this only applies to this session of Image Studio. So if you close out of the software and open it back up at a later point, you would have to re-enter that information. So I'm going to go ahead and just click OK here. And from here, you can now set the heater plate. And so right now, the heater plate is turned off. So if I check that, it's now turned on. The set point is 37 degrees, but you can set it anywhere from 32 to 42 degrees. And then right here, we have the actual temperature. You can choose the wavelengths that you want to use, whether you want to do a 700, 800, or white light imaging. And for the if you are going to be doing a time series or a movie, you can only have one of these set at a time. And I'll explain that more here in just a moment. The resolution, you can set that from 85 to 255 microns. Generally, for whole animal imaging, you're going to do 170 micron image. If you're going to be doing organ imaging, so once you have sacrificed the animal and taken the organs, the 85 micron will give you a higher resolution. The 255 is generally used for a fast time series, and I'll explain that more here in just a moment as well. The focal offset will be determined empirically. So at the beginning of your project, when you're doing your pilot study, you will want to determine what the focal offset will be and then leave that set at the same point for all of your imaging. So I can either do a single image, I can do a standard time series, or a fast time series. Now with a standard time series, I can set the interval between acquisitions. I can set it for minutes and seconds, and then also a total number of acquisitions. For the fast time series, I can, if I set this, if I have the resolution set to 85 microns, it will take images every 2 seconds. If it's set to 170, every 1 second, and at 255, every half second. And when you start that, you follow the images and then you press stop. But for right now, I'm just going to go with single image. And then I can click Acquire. Now, there are some options that you can set up right here. If I click on the camera options, and so I can have it automatically start the image acquisition when the drawer is closed, and I can also set it to open the drawer automatically following the acquisition. And so you just set that up to whatever works best for your workflow. All right, so I have this set up for 170 with a single image, and so I'm going to press Acquire. And the images will appear during acquisition. So if you see that your animal has woken up or has moved around, you can cancel out of the scan. It will not allow you to stop once the acquisition has started, your only option is to cancel the scan. The stop is used for the fast time series stop. And following the acquisition completion, it does give you a series of pop-up windows right here. And so what you do is you look at these 6 different auto adjustments to the image and choose the one that looks best for you. And so I'm just going to choose this one right here. And then it takes you into another window that allows you to do some fine tuning of the images. And so we have signal, which allows you to make the overall brightness either brighter or dimmer. We have background, which will either make the background more apparent if you go with brighter, or minimize it using the dimmer. And then we also have the midtones, which is what we call the K value. Now, K value is analogous to gamma correction, except for a K value of 0 is a linear representation of the pixel intensities. And that is the same as a gamma correction of 1. So a K value of 0 is the same as a gamma of 1. If you turn the K value up to 1, that will be a logarithmic presentation of the pixel intensities. And so once I click done here, it then takes me into the 800 channel, and I do the same types of options there, and then it also shows me the white channel as well. Now, if you do not want those windows to pop up automatically following image acquisition, if you come here to the image ribbon, and here under the display group, we have options for that group, and this is where you can turn off the automatic choose display and adjust display from appearing following acquisition. It's completely up to your discretion whether you want to have that appear or not. They can be very helpful for people who are new to the software. But if you're very familiar with the software and you're comfortable doing the adjustments yourself over here on the side, that is totally up to you. Now, the image adjustments will be discussed further on the image ribbon video. And so from here on out, if you need to make any adjustments to the information, that can be done manually right here on the table itself. And if you want to add the animal ID or the treatment information, you just simply double click and type in that information right there. So if you have any further questions on the image acquisition for the Pearl or Pearl Impulse, please refer to the help section up here. Thank you very much.